Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. So we are from group 2 and we would like to present our topic, and it is politeness theory, consists of face, FTAs and communication strategies. And group 2 consists of me, Gita Indah Purnami, as the first speaker, and the second speaker is Adevia, and the last speaker is Dani Alfarisi. So in this video we would like to discuss about the first one, summary of Brown's argument, and the second is face and rationality, which will be presented by me, and the third is types of face threatening acts or FTAs, and the fourth is strategies for doing FTAs, which will be presented by Adevia, and the last is factors influencing the choice of strategies, which will be presented by Dani Alfarisi. Okay, so in this slide, or the summary of Brown's theory. So language is not only used to give information but also to manage social relationships. When we speak, we also try to protect feelings and self-image, both ours and other people's. This is called face. And because of this, communication is not only about meaning but also about social interaction. They explain that some speech acts can threaten face. These are called face-threatening acts or FTAs. For example, like asking, ordering, or criticizing someone. And because these actions can be risky, speakers choose different strategies to make their speech more polite and reduce the risk. The strategy we choose depends on the situations, such as how close we are to the other person, or who has more power, or how big the request is. So the main idea is that communication is not only about language but also about keeping good relationship between the speaker and the listener. And in this slide, Brown and Levinson explain the idea of model person. They believe that every speaker has two important things. The first one is rationality and the second is face. So first is rationality. This means that people think before they speak. They choose the best way to reach their goal. For example, if someone wants help, they will choose polite words so other person is more likely to agree to the speakers. And the second is face, which means a person's self-image. And face divided into two types. The first one is negative face, which means people want freedom or do not want to be forced. For example, I can say, could you please close the window? This is still a request, but it sounds polite and doesn't force the listener, so it respects their freedom. And the second is positive face, which means people want to be liked, respected, and accepted by others. For example, I can say, your presentation was really good, and this makes the persons feel appreciated and valued, so it supports their positive face. And in daily communication, people try to balance these two things, so they want to reach their goal but also keep good relationship with others.
Okay, now I will explain FTAs or face-threatening acts are actions that can threaten a person's face or self-image. There are three main types. First, negative face, which relates to a person's freedom. For example, request or order, because we ask someone to do something and that can limit their freedom. So for a second, positive face, which relate to feelings or self-esteem. For example, criticism or disagreement, because this can make someone feel unappreciated. So the last FTAs can also target the speaker themselves, such as when we apologize or say thank you, because it can lower our position or show vulnerability. So in general, FTAs are things that have the potential to make people feel uncomfortable, either in terms of freedom or feelings. Okay, for the next slide, the strategies for FTAS. To reduce the impact of FTAS, there are several strategies that can be used. For the first, belt on record, which is direct and without small talk, usually used in urgent situations. So for the second, positive politeness, which shows friendliness or closeness, so the listener feels appreciated. So for the third, is negative politeness, which is more polite and less forceful, for example, by using phrases like could you. So for the fourth, off record, which is indirect or use hints so it doesn't put too much pressure on the listener. And lastly, don't do the FTA, which means choosing not to say anything to avoid causing any threat at all. So, the greater the potential threat, the more likely we are to choose a softer or more indirect strategy.
Alright, for this part, I will explain the factors that influence the choice of politeness strategies. According to Brown and Levinson, there are three main factors. First is social distance, or D. This refers to how close the relationship is between the speaker and the hearer. If they are close, the speaker can be more direct, but if they are not close, the speaker needs to be more polite. Second is power, or P. This means the relative power between the speaker and the hearer. If the hearer has more power, like a teacher or a boss, the speaker will usually speak more politely and indirectly. Third is the ranking of imposition, or R. This refers to how serious or big the request is. The bigger the request, the more polite the speaker needs to be. Brown and Levinson explained this with a formula. V equals D plus P plus R. This means the weight of a face threatening X depends on these three factors. So, the higher the value, the more polite and indirect the strategy will be. For the next is conclusion. Because of this, speakers use different politeness strategies to reduce the threat to someone's face. The strategies are chosen based on social distance, power, and the ranking of imposition. So, the higher the rise, the more polite and indirect the strategy will be. This shows that politeness is not random, but a result of rational thinking in social interaction. Maybe that's all for me. Thank you very much. My name is Daniel Parisi.